Moving on now, let's move on to solve for the area and perimeter of the triangle. This one, this triangle that you see right here. However, did you know that this is a right triangle? Look, it has a right angle, right? That you see right here. Kaya naman ito ay tinatawag na right triangle. Now, to solve for the area of the triangle, look at this. Since we have a right angle, this is very easy for us to solve for the area of the right triangle. Oh, by the way, you might be wondering why are we talking about area rather than perimeter first, right? You know naman, in particular, perimeter should come first. But why are we doing area first kaya? That's a good question that you might ask typically. Because what you call this, look oh, you know naman the formula when it comes to solve for the area of a triangle, diba? It's always base times height. Base times height divided by 2. Okay? Tsaka mabilis lang yan, no? You just get the area of the triangle, which is multiply the base. Ito yung base, diba? Normally, you can't see the base anywhere, but take note that the base is this one. The dimension that measures 5 centimeters, that's the base. Base yan, no? That's particularly the base. And then this one, that's the height. It tells how tall the triangle is. Kaya nga, that's why nga, it's easy to solve for the area of a right triangle because, remember, you need to get the height through the vertical line. You can't get the height through the slope. So, you know naman, that's the most popular mistakes that students do when they solve for the area of triangles. Whenever they need to get the height, they get the slope, which is wrong. Even if it were done in perimeter, they get the slope. Pero buti nga for this problem, I did not put anything on the slope. Pero sa totoo lamang, you will see how we will get the slope later. The measure of the slope later. Okay? First, to solve for the area of the triangle, 5 times 9, diba? Base times height. 5 times 9 to give you 45. And 45 divided by 2 to give you 22.25 squared centimeters. Ayan, ito yung area. Ito yung formula. Yun. Now you get it, alright? Now, let's solve for other stuff. Going back to our triangle that you see right here, we need to solve for the perimeter. Kaya lang, this is the problem, ha? Look at this. This is the slope, diba? It's not there. But take note that even though we don't have the measure of the slope, we can still get the measure of the slope even though we don't have it. You know how? There's a secret technique called the Pythagorean theorem. That's why yung sinabi ko sa'yo, we did area first because area just so happens that it implies Pythagorean theorem. And before you do Pythagorean theorem, it just so happens that it implies the application of sum for the area. Okay? And exponents as well. So now let's play the game of the Pythagorean theorem in order that we can simply get the measure of this red line or whom we call as the hypotenuse. Okay? So for the Pythagorean theorem, ito yung formula. You see this piece right here? Ito yung formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared and B squared can pertain to any of the two legs. The legs that you see in this triangle. Ito yung mga legs. Okay? And then, you will have to simplify the expression. 5 squared to give you 25. 9 squared to give you 81. Okay? Equals the C squared. Now, this is what your formula looks like. Now, combine like terms. Okay, we got the answer of 106 and C squared. Now, we need to get rid of the exponent. Remember, C squared talks about the measure of the hypotenuse. But it doesn't mean talaga it's C squared. You have to take the square root of it so that you can get the measure of one dimension. Because according to definition means of Pythagorean theorem, it's the summation of the squares. Basta at panoorin mo yan sa YouTube. Type Pythagorean theorem on YouTube and you'll find out more about it. Okay? Now, we take the square root of 106. And since 106 can't be taken out by a square root, therefore, you have to use a calculator for that matter if you want to get the accurate value. Ayan, so ito yung formula mo. Now, we take the square root of 106. And we got the hypotenuse of 10.3. Kung dinive ko sa calculator ko, it's 10.29563 and a bunch of numbers that keep on going on forever. And it's an irrational number. So therefore, we just round it off na lang. Unless what you always sabi yung teacher mo, keep it accurate, then you'll have to leave the square root as is. Pero if your teachers are considered, they want you to round it off na lang, ganito yung gagawin mo. So 10.3 na lang yung hypotenuse. Now with the use of the ruler, we can clearly see that the measure is 10.3. Did it reach 10.3? Yan, sakto lamang, 10.3. 10.3 cm, 100 or 103 millimeters. Okay? The length here measures 5 cm. This one, on the other hand, is 9 cm. And now that we got our hypotenuse, we can now solve for the perimeter. So to solve for the perimeter, 9 plus 5 is 14. And 14 plus 10.3 equals 24.3 cm. Okay, so yun na yung formula mo. So therefore, the perimeter of the triangle is 24.3 centimeters. Don't forget to double check on your answer and on your computation and your unit. Because since we're using centimeters, dapat centimeters yung gagamitin mo. At saka yun lang. That's it.